Everyone's talking about fraud in Minnesota's Housing Stabilization Services program. But here's what most people don't know. Not every provider was fraudulent. Some of us were working months without getting paid, helping people the system forgot. Over the next 14 days, I'm going to share the truth about what really happened, who it hurt the most, and how we're still helping clients, without Medicaid funding. Follow now if you want the real story, not just the headlines. You've probably heard the number, 96% of people remained housed after 2 years. Sounds impressive, right? But here's the problem, no one can actually track every person once they leave the program. People move. They disappear from the system. And there's no universal ID to prove who stays housed and who doesn't. These stats look great on paper, but they don't reflect the reality we see on the ground every day. The truth? Success rates in housing are far more complicated than a single number. Meet one of our clients, we'll call him Marvin. He was denied 4 times for housing services. We worked with him for over a year, logging more than 100 hours of support, from finding apartments to helping with applications. When he finally got approved, the system only let us bill for 10 of those hours. We never got paid for the rest. But Marvin? He's housed now. And that's why we keep going. When you hear about fraud in housing programs, here's what most people imagine: fake clients, fake logs, and double billing for services never provided. Yes, that happened in some cases. But here's what reality looked like for honest providers: 8-month waits for client approval services delivered without knowing if we'd ever be paid, denials for tiny errors like typos or outdated forms. The system punished good providers just as much as it punished the bad ones. Imagine this: you meet a client who needs help now. You do their intake, create a plan, start the work. You submit all the paperwork, and wait. And wait. And wait. Months go by. You keep helping them, paying your staff out of pocket, only to have the application denied because a date was wrong. That's not fraud. That's a broken system. And it's why so many providers collapsed before the program even ended. You've seen the headlines about homelessness success rates. But here's the reality: counting people experiencing homelessness is nearly impossible. They move between cities. They avoid systems they don't trust. They may not show up in official counts. And yes, some people are counted multiple times. That's why at Clear Care, we don't just track numbers, we track people. We know their names, their goals, their struggles, and their wins. That's how we measure success. For 2 years, we worked with Shawnetta, helping her tour apartments, escape a toxic relationship, and rebuild her confidence. Yesterday, she signed her own lease at age 53. That's housing stability. And now, without Medicaid funding, we're making sure stories like hers still happen. Follow to hear how we're making it work. One thing the headlines never mention: how long it took to get paid, if you got paid at all. In some cases, we waited 8 months for approvals, working full-time with clients without a dollar coming in. Imagine running a business like that. That's why we're changing the model, to fund the work before it's done, so clients never have to wait for help. Our new model is simple and powerful. Every client has Clear Care as their primary sponsor, guaranteeing baseline services. Then, multiple sponsors, individuals, businesses, and organizations, can contribute to that client's goals. The higher the need, the more sponsors. It's like surrounding someone with a wall of protection: financial, emotional, and practical support, until they're stable. Want to do more than donate? You can become a Clear Care ally, a mentor who connects directly with clients, offering encouragement, skills, and accountability. We train you. We match you with someone whose goals align with what you can offer. And you'll get to witness firsthand the progress you're helping make. Sometimes, the biggest change comes from one consistent, supportive voice in someone's life. You could be that voice. In the past 4 years, we've prevented 14 evictions. That's 14 families who didn't have to pack up in the middle of the night. 14 households who didn't have to start over on the street. It didn't happen because of luck, it happened because someone stepped in at the right time. You can be that someone. People think ending homelessness is just about building more housing. But here's the truth: without addressing systemic failures, people fall right back into instability. Without support to overcome personal barriers, like addiction, trauma, or job loss, housing alone won't last. That's why ClearCare focuses on people, not just properties. We build stability from the inside out. Right now, 17 of our clients will lose services unless we sponsor them ourselves. That's why we're inviting you to join their circle of support. With our layered sponsorship model, you can give any amount, and join others in surrounding a client with the resources, mentorship, and care they need. The higher the need, the more sponsors we bring in. Will you step into someone's circle today? For the past 14 days, we've pulled back the curtain on the truth behind the HSS shutdown. You've seen the propaganda. You've seen the systemic failures. You've seen the people it hurt most. Now, it's time to be part of the solution. Become a sponsor. Become a mentor. Share this story. Together, we can build a wall of protection around every person fighting to stay housed, and make sure they win that fight. With these scripts, your entire 14-day launch starts with truth-telling, hooking people in with the fraud and systemic narrative. It moves into human impact stories, building empathy and trust. It ends with clear action steps for people to join our mission.